All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you, just like me. So, yeah, you can add Foreigner to the list of bands that are promoting you doing the thing. Okay, so you supposedly won't get the thing, but Foreigner is out there with the Ad Council of all things. The Ad Council is basically a propaganda arm of the federal government. And I cringe at pretty much everything the Ad Council tells me I should do or is promoting. You'll see their ads on television. You'll hear them on the radio. You'll see them on billboards, print advertising, whatever it is. They have a very big budget, pretty much a bottomless pit of propaganda. And they have a new education program out there called It's Up to You. It puts the ball in your court. It's up to you to do what we're telling you to do. Either that or you live down under in Australia and they basically are forcing you to do this, which, again, if that doesn't make you a little bit fearful of what might be next, then you're really not paying attention. So Kelly Hansen, lead vocalist of Foreigner, current lead singer, replaced Lou Gramm. Of course, you don't replace Lou Gramm. You just cope with the fact that Lou isn't there, and you hope that Kelly does a good job. And for the most part, he does. And I don't dislike Kelly Hansen, but he is Mr. Public Service. You know, he did some good stuff last year for Shriners Hospital, really good stuff. But this, to me, just seems like, hey, we're going to do our part. Maybe people will leave us alone. This is all about publicity, by the way, because you don't want to get negative PR, because once you step outside, you know, the boundaries, you become just a pariah. The media goes after you and, you know, you get all of this bad press. And Foreigner has always played this game really well, where they seem so engaged, so involved with the community. And for them, this just looks and feels like the next natural thing for them to do. Hansen says, I understand and believe that it's everyone's individual choice whether to get the thing or not. But I think that if you are aware of, this is a really interesting statement here. If you are aware of and believe and agree with the information that you hear today, meaning from their tent that they've set up where you can learn about, like, folks, we've learned about this now for 8-9 months straight. You can't watch a newscast for more than like 5 or 10 minutes without stumbling into the data and the science, supposed science, and the experts say, which I love to hear. The experts say, okay, do you have a peer-reviewed study or anything? Do you have any long-term stuff that I could look at to see? Oh, no long-term, huh? Because there was not any long-term stuff ever done. So I'm not sure how, if I walked into this tent and said, hey, got any long-term studies I can look at? Kelly Hansen says I should agree with and believe in and be aware of. I mean, these are all like pie in the sky, like, just do what we're telling you to do. Anyway, he doesn't, Hansen isn't real dogmatic, but he just says all of the most flowery and innocuous kinds of things in order to get you to believe that Foreigner really cares about you. He goes on and says, we love our fans. We want everybody to be safe. Oh, I've been hearing that for so long. Be safe. Go outside, be safe. Yes, I'm going to go outside, get some sunshine, get some fresh air. I might go down to the beach, right? Where I'll, you know, get some salt water and I'll get all of the great elements that were given to us by God himself. But, you know, that's not as good as Moderna or Pfizer, because those are the people that really care about me. They really, really care about me. So he says, we want everybody to be safe. We are trying to closely follow all I hate the word protocol now. I absolutely hate that word. When I hear protocol, I just want to throw up. I want to hurl. We want to let people know if they do want to get the thing, that they can get the thing at our Nashville show. That's what I want to do. When I go to a concert, I want to see this pop-up tent with the words on it that are, and have a giant syringe, maybe a neon flashing syringe, right? Because that'll really want to, I mean, there might be some old time Foreigner fans that go over there and think that they're giving out some kind of a other thing other than the one that they're actually going to give you. Maybe some other substance that they used to partake in 40 years ago. I'm just kidding. Just that's not ever going to happen, right? Hey, man, is this where you get the thing? Talk about a booster shot, right? Anyway, he says that's a choice for them, and it's completely up to them. So at least he says that, unlike some other rock stars that are saying, I believe it should be mandatory. Really? It should be mandatory? Oh, okay, that sounds real fantastic. And, you know, take a look at Australia right now, folks. It is, people are sending me messages like SOS, help, get us out of here. Anyway, as a band, we want to continue bringing our music live and have no liability for anything that happens to anyone, to all of our friends and fans across the country, but we want to do it safely. Well, here's how you do it safely. You pack your gear safely. You don't fall off the stage. You don't get into a car wreck. Those are all things you can do that will keep you safe. He goes on to say, let's all stay healthy. We just want to give people the right information about all of the things that are out there that you can do. Okay, again, quick little editorial here. You know what's missing from this conversation? The other side of the story. The things that might happen to you if you do the thing. Because there are whole websites, there are Facebook groups, there are videos that are out there that show, and people always say, well, it's just so rare. It's actually not all that rare. And by the way, we shut the same type of program down back in 1976 after we had 26 people who didn't quite make it after doing the thing back in 1976. We shut it down after 26. Now, the information is really hard to find about our current running total. I can tell you it's at least 5 digits now. All right, at least just here in the United States, it's at least 5 digits. All right, I'm trying to be, again, using the code language and being a little stealth in my delivery, but wouldn't you shut something down immediately if you had full informed consent like that and found out? And I'm not talking about reactions. I'm talking about people who are no longer standing upright and are probably, you know, underground at this point. And nobody seems to care. Kelly Hansen, yeah, let's just informed consent. If you know, if you really knew and you really had informed consent, you'd be scared out of your mind. You'd be mortified. And I'll say this in every video about this topic, that until people know all of what can happen, that they don't have informed consent. All right. So anyway, if you want to go see Foreigner, right, you can do the thing at the Foreigner concert. You'll feel really good about yourself. I would be scared for the rest of my life. I mean, who knows? You just don't know what's going to happen. And people are just accepting this blindly. But quite honestly, there are a group of people out there that are very stubborn, very obstinate. They do research, they do critical thinking, and they say, nope. And, you know, they may still want to go to the show because they love Foreigner, and I love Foreigner, and I love to see Foreigner. Even with Kelly Hansen, I'd go. But I'd be a little leery if there are all these restrictions, and you got to have your little passport, and you got to have your little paperwork and all this stuff. That's not enjoyable, people. Look, I get the other argument, which is that's a small price to pay for safety. Really? Because ask people up in Massachusetts if that price to pay is working out for everybody. Ask people in Israel if it's working out for them. And there are other places around the world. Ask if locking the entire country down like they're doing in Australia is a good thing for the population. Seriously, it's all for the greater good. Really? Isolation is great. It's great for the soul. Isolation, loneliness, fear. The amount of fear, I can guarantee you that this whole fear thing is going to have very long-term lasting consequences. And if you don't think, it's a real thing, it's a bigger thing than the thing they're trying to prevent you from getting. That's my take on this, because we have gone into just another place. Like, we all have now accepted the premise. So because we've accepted the premise, now we're being manipulated to accept more and more things. And it's really dangerous. So anyway, Foreigner in Nashville sounds like a great time. I'd love to go, but I don't live near Nashville, and I don't plan on going to any concert anytime soon, unless all this changes and does a complete 180. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.